Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about Donald Trump's promise to a Christian audience that if they vote for him in 2024, they won't have to vote anymore. Okay, so why this raises eyebrows and is alarming is pretty obvious. That notion, whatever comes to mind, the first thing I would think with Trump and Project 2025 is that's the end of voting in any kind of real way in this country, and I intend to go straight to, Russia or China, do not pass. Turkey or Argentina, do not collect $200, just immediately change this country in a totalitarian way, and elections are over. So a phenomenal, I think I think that his next Trump term would usher in huge degradations in our democracy, but not that it would be the final election. Still, the promise of it is one. And then second, is he somehow in his, ignorant way, really, what does Trump know about Christianity or Christian doctrine, trying to play to some millenarian doctrine of end of days or whatever, and he thinks it's a good idea. So the very first point is, what the hell? Something's crazy here, and there may be an actual concern about he's telegraphing the kind of anti-democratic power he would grab. That's a little bit of a story, and it's going, but the real reason I wanted to focus on this is just, it's a classic exchange with a friendly source, Fox News' Laura Ingraham, of Trump sort of doggerel and failure to answer a question and just clearly say, oh no, I'm not gonna, get rid of elections in this country. Par excellence, you go back to a few weeks where Biden sometimes, was a little halting in his speech. Trump sometimes is spectacularly incoherent in his speech, and this is a whole exchange, which, by the way, is just softball after softball. Laura Ingram's, getting closer and closer. Mr. President, you're not saying we'll never have elections again, right? Mr. President, that you would still leave in 2028, right? Mr. President, here, please, just hit the ball. And the guy either is completely unaware of what's going on, or just unable to give a clear answer. Okay, so much of what I want to do for just a few minutes is really just read the exchange in real time. So he said, by the way, that he said it twice. He said it last week, got all kinds of flack for it, then said it again last night. And then here comes his interview with Fox News' Laura Ingraham. She said, Democrats have highlighted evidence that you would end elections. So I want to give you a chance to rebut this ridiculous, Ingram's word, criticism. Okay, so that's what she says. They're saying you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future, right? Softball from anyone with a third grade or education. Here's what he said. Let me say what I mean by that. That's a really good start, right? Let me say what I mean by that. So what will follow will be his good explanation of why, of course, he's not going to end elections. I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians all in all. I mean, this was a crowd that liked me a lot. From there, he added that Catholics are treated very badly by this administration. They're persecuted. Then he digresses to Jews, saying any Jew who votes for Democrats should have your head examined. And then he said again, this is the last time Christians will have to vote. So just a stunning series of non sequiturs and, different kinds of religious references. Okay. And ending with, I said, vote for me. Here's his explanation. Let me say what I mean by that. I said, vote for me. You're not going to have to do it ever again. It's true. Oh, I see. So this is what I mean. It's true. And then a little bit of an explanation here, because we have to get the vote out. Christians are not known as a big voting group. That's false, by the way. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. Okay, he'll straighten out the country. What does that mean? So voting no longer is he really trying to say, I'll make things so good that they could never again be bad? And of course, we'll have regular elections, but they'll never matter because I've just straightened things out for a time immemorial. Or is he get back to this like it's all straightened out, no more elections? Okay, so Ingram is like really trying. You mean you don't have to vote for you, right? You'll never have to vote for you again because you'll have 4 years in office. Okay, one more chance to try to save himself at a very, very, easy and obvious to anyone listening thing that he needs to do. Mr. Trump began talking about gun owners not voting. And now Ingram interrupts him. And I've known Ingram a long time. And she can even take liberties with Trump. And she's, this side of, hey, idiot, listen to the question. Disavow this quote. Get it out. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. No. It's being interpreted, as you're not surprised to hear, by the left as well. They're never going to have another election. So can you just respond? Trump, at this point, cuts her off again, claiming again that Christians vote in very small percentages. He then repeated his statement from Friday once more, the message. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed and we won't even need your vote anymore because, frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay. All right. So first, as just an exhibit of the possible declining or never that high cognitive powers of the would-be president, it's breathtaking. This is like doggerel. And to try to transpose this into a meaningful issue, like, shall we withdraw from NATO? What happens in the border? And it's just, blather. And then second, though, it's so politically, can't say naive. There's nothing naive about him, but so knee-jerk, thoughtless. And, by the way, does leave open. I don't think he could achieve anything like this in short order. I was going to say he couldn't go for it, but I think he would go for it. But he won't, or he doesn't even know, under the most friendly of questioning, to disavow the proposition that this will be the final election because he will take care of everything in this term. And however you slice that, it's horrifying and justly condemned, and a total stepping on his own feet political bonehead move. And so his friend from Fox News comes in to cut him a break once, twice, three, sort of four times, and he misses it. He just whiffs 4 times in a row. So, the issue, it's at a minimum, how's he talking to a Christian audience? What's he thinking? He lies or panders at each side, but like what he's talking about couldn't be a worse sort of Project 2025, anoint Trump as king. But I think really the most salient point of this is people were frustrated. You want to keep this election about him. And when people were focused on Biden's gaffes and old age, he was just this foil. In fact, once a week at least, he's the gift that keeps on giving. That if people look at this seriously, they say, you'd rather have a doddering child be president than this doddering and megalomaniacal, incredibly nasty adult. And this is what we got. So we'll see now that if Biden's out of the race, whether things like this hit home, not as a substantive proof, oh, this is our last election, but as a substantive proof that this guy is just got a lot of Swiss cheese or whatever where his brain used to be, and simple-minded as he can be. If the fallback principle is loyalty to me, enrichment of me, we got a terrible 4 years ahead if he's elected. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.